If you're just advertising on Facebook or you're just advertising on YouTube, you're doing it wrong. Find out the right way by watching this video right now. I am very excited to be joined by video marketing expert Travis Chambers, founder of Chamber Media, an agency that specializes in helping businesses develop really scalable social ads. Tell us about one of the campaigns you've done, just so people understand the kind of work that you do.
So we had a campaign we launched 2 years ago for a company called Transparent Labs. We created an anchor video, which is a long form, high production video. It combines entertaining, educating, and also selling.
Travis, I know a lot of what you do has a lot to do with paid acquisition. And what I'd love to talk about is YouTube ads with Facebook ads or YouTube ads versus Facebook ads. Tell us a little bit about what your experience has taught you.
So for the most part, one platform usually outperforms the other. And a few years ago, our mindset was, well, let's pick which platform is best and let's double down there. We found out that's the wrong way to think about it. Because what we found is Facebook is the best prospecting channel in the world when it comes to social channels. Facebook has the richest data, the most third-party layers, and people purchase on Facebook and give Facebook information that they don't give anyone else. But YouTube is much more contextual. It's more like Google search. It's more intent-based. What we look at as far as Facebook goes is we look at that as our go-to prospecting channel. Oftentimes we end up spending a little bit more there than we do YouTube. However, what we found with YouTube is people use YouTube to research. People don't really research on Facebook. You're interrupting them while they're looking at baby photos or they're looking at a trip someone went on. You're interrupting them. It's really important to run them both in tandem. And what we've noticed is the more that we spend on Facebook, the more we're capable of spending on YouTube. So Transparent Labs, when you're not spending much on Facebook, there's going to be a small amount of people searching for what's the best pre-workout, what's the best workout supplement. But when we spend 100,000 on Facebook, all of a sudden your capacity to spend on YouTube gets much larger. It's because people are getting introduced to the brand in an interruption way that is more difficult to do on YouTube. And that's not saying you can't do that on YouTube, but YouTube tends to be a little bit more contextual and intention-based. So when I'm going on YouTube, if I'm in the market for pre-workout, I may be looking at various workout influencers, and that's where I can get targeted. But when there's a larger brand awareness and prospecting play happen, I'm more likely to go to YouTube and start researching things that are oriented around that product and that brand, and thus my audience gets bigger. The best thing I can compare it to is running a Super Bowl ad and then not running Google search ads. When you know your Google search is going to 100x.
Give us some tips on how video ads ought to be different on Facebook versus YouTube, strategy, tactical kind of stuff.
The biggest differences that I see are intent. When you're prospecting on Facebook, intent is much less. Right. I'm interrupting you. Viewership's always going to be 30-20% of what it is on YouTube. Just by the way they count the video views, by the nature of the news feed, how people use their attention, they're scrolling.
So how long are the ads that you're typically creating on Facebook?
We actually use the same anchor video strategy on Facebook as we do YouTube. We'll make slight adjustments to the content. There will be a hook that we're trying to keep you from scrolling versus a hook that's trying to get you to not skip.
Talk to me about that. How can you make a hook that stops you from wanting to scroll?
It's literally could be as simple as we have Mr. Cool video. We have the guy throwing a towel at the camera and says, "Stop scrolling."
Like at a certain moment in the video?
Within 3 seconds.
Oh, within 3 seconds.
Yeah. Whereas in YouTube, you may actually call out that you shouldn't skip. But I would say the greater difference is how you retarget. Facebook just lends itself to more retargeting assets because you can generally have more touch points with Facebook. With YouTube, people are making a cognitive choice to not skip your ad.
Right.
And then it's a game of keep them as long as possible. The odds of them being into it are higher than they are on Facebook.
Right.
Because you're usually running that ad behind something they're already interested in. So I'm looking at a guy who is teaching me how to lift weights, and then I'm choosing not to skip an ad about pre-workout. Whereas on Facebook, I'm looking at my niece's first day at school. I get introduced to this. I'm not going to be in it as long. So the general conclusion here is you're going to have more touch points on Facebook than you are on YouTube. Right. YouTube, you may have 1, 2, 3 touch points to get them to click. Facebook, you're going to usually have 4 or 5. So the number of assets that we run in a Facebook ad funnel is 2 to 3 times what we usually run on YouTube.
Wow.
And the strategy is different. The duration goal on YouTube is much higher than it is on Facebook. The frequency on Facebook should be higher. And a greater part of this discussion is a whole new way of getting people to convert. The old way is huge traffic, cheap traffic, impressions and clicks, cheapest clicks you can get, make your website do all the work, and then get them into your tripwires and your snares and your squeeze page and your funnel and bother them till
Right.
Till the cows come home. Our new strategy that's been really working well for us, get them to qualify themselves with your video. If they're not watching 10 or 15%, they have dequalified themselves. Now, when someone's coming to your site, they've already watched 30 seconds, 60 seconds of video, and then they've seen 2 other videos that are clarifying their concerns. They're coming to your website is not doing all the work anymore.
That's really a rethinking of the way the long form sales page really has been historically.
I think the long form still is necessary if you're doing info products or lead gen, but if you're just selling a physical good and you want people to take action quickly, get them to qualify, get them educated before they come to your website.
Awesome. If you want to learn more about Travis, you want to watch this awesome video that showcases some of the greatest work that he's done for some of his clients, click on it, watch it right now.